Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Andy Cotgreave, and welcome to a live stream about ChatGPT and advanced data analysis. Today, I'm going to ask, can the latest plugin from ChatGPT do real-world data analysis? So I'm Andy Cotgreave. I'm Tableau's data evangelist. I'm one of the authors of the Big Book of Dashboards, co-host Charts Chat, Tableau's IronViz, and all sorts of other fun things. I love exploratory data analysis. Welcome to you all on the live stream. I can see your comments on YouTube. Unfortunately, I can't see your comments on LinkedIn, so I hope you're enjoying the show there if you're on LinkedIn. But I can see what you're saying on YouTube, and I'll start interacting with those chats as we go. But here's the question. Can ChatGPT do real-world exploratory data analysis? I want to know the answer because when you see videos about ChatGPT, it looks amazing. It does all these surface-level things absolutely exceptionally well. But what's it actually like when you dig in? When I've dug in, the results have been a bit hit and miss. So that's what we're going to try and find out. First, what is exploratory data analysis? Well, when you're trying to find insights in data, you start with a task, and then you go around this circle of getting the data, finding some structure in the data, building out views so that you can see what the data is telling you, getting insights, and then acting on those insights or sharing them with others. That's the cycle of visual analysis that Tableau defined about 20 years ago. Importantly, though, here you are in the middle of it. And the reality of this is that it's a very fluid set of steps. You might jump from one step to another, not in the logical steps, but you might dive across the circle because you want to be in a flow state, finding insights, adapting questions as you find them, and off you go. So that's EDA. Let's talk a little bit about ChatGPT if you're new to it. So within ChatGPT, if you're on the paid plan, then you get access to GPT-4, and in there you've got the Advanced Data Analysis plugin. Woohoo! What is the Advanced Data Analysis plugin, you're asking me, I'm sure. Well, for that, let's go into the settings and beta. I don't know. Anyway, in the beta features, we've got Advanced Data Analysis down here. And what is it? It's a version of ChatGPT that knows how to write and execute Python code and can work with file upload. Woohoo! You can ask for help with data analysis, image conversions, or editing a code file. Pretty good. That's kind of what I'm interested in as a data analyst. So make sure that's turned on. The other thing that you can do in ChatGPT to get these things working pretty well is give it custom instructions. This is a nice little feature to save time if you do similar conversations all the time. So I've told ChatGPT, I am an expert in exploratory data analysis. 17 years experience. I like to think that's the case. I like horror movies, also true. But I struggle to know how to find a good one to watch when I scroll through streaming services. There's a lot of rubbish horror movies out there. And when you're scrolling through your streaming services, which one's the good one? So we're going to try and use data to solve that problem. I can also tell ChatGPT how to respond. I want ChatGPT to be relatively informal and respond with extra steps, extra suggestions for next steps in data exploration. ChatGPT is allowed to have opinions on how to present on analyzing data and presenting data stories. So there you go. So we've cancelled. I don't need to save those because they're already saved. And that's how we're going to proceed. Finally, what is my data? Well, it's Halloween month for those who do Halloween. So we have some Halloween-y data. Just a quick pause. This image over here, this was created by Midjourney. I asked it to draw a 1980s slasher horror movie scary scene in a cartoon style. And I think it's done a pretty cool job. So I don't know what this means for illustrators in the future, but it's a pretty scary prospect. The data comes from Kaggle. It's a horror movies data set. It's IMDb data about horror movies. And here's the thing. I have not looked at this data set. All I've done is look at the profile of the data. So we've got popularity. So if we look at detail, we've got 30,000 movies, 29,000 titles. We've got language. We've got movies from a long time ago to end of 2022, and we've got some IMDb vote data. All right. Does that sound cool? Are we ready to carry on? Let's get going. I can see on LinkedIn someone says it's not perfect. Yeah, you do. You still need to know info when you need enough info to know when to doubt it. That's right. We're going to probably discover you need to know your expert information to critique what it's creating. So the first thing is let's upload the data, and let's go download the data to prove that it's we're going to do this. Here's the archive. We'll replace this one, and we'll open the folder. Here's my data. Right, so let's copy that and go to ChatGPT. What I'd love to know on the comments again is, what would you like to think? What should I ask ChatGPT? So let's go find it. Okay, so here's the CSV. Right. What's the first question? First of all, for exploratory data analysis, I just want a profile of the data. Can you give me a profile of the data? Now, I've done this a couple of times. If you've done this yourself, you'll know it's going to start writing Python code, and you can see what Python code it's going to write. You can do a show to get a preview, and let's break down. Looks like we're getting a data dictionary, an overview of what's happening. And again, this is actually very, very powerful. You can do this with any data. Just upload the top few rows of any massive CSV you've got, and it'll do an interesting profile of the data. It's suggesting next steps. Let's we'll stay on the Zoom. So what have we got? We've got ID, the title movie, we've got the language, description, we've got a tagline. Oh, cool. We've got a tagline. That probably means we can analyze horror movie taglines over time, see if they've changed. We can see if there's a correlation between what are the most common words in different taglines. I mean, there's probably lots of blood and horror and suspense and pain. These are horror movies. We've got dates. We've got URLs to the postage, votes. Okay, so we've got vote count and vote average and a popularity, revenue, runtime status, adult, backdrop paths, genre names, collect. Oh, right. Okay, cool. And it's suggesting for next steps. Well, I think let's go. What I want to do is find ultimately 3 different insights that I can share, 3 or 4 that I can share in a presentation. So I want ChatGPT to create a set of charts that we can put into a PowerPoint file, and then I can deliver the presentation at the end of this. And we're going to go, I don't know, about an hour for this session. All right. Want to dive into any of these? Well, that I did ask for informality. Wanna dive in is kind of thing. Okay, so yeah, give me a summary set of insights I could explore. In doing these videos, I've been a bit it's been a bit interesting thinking, what do we want the AI to do? Do we want it to help me explore the data, in which case I'm going to ask sort of data analytical questions? Or am I going just basically consulting the AI to get full answers back? Like, what's the best horror movie of all time, and what should I do to make a great horror movie? Okay, so we've got, so there's some missing data, 19,000 missing titles. There's loads of missing data. That's absolutely fine. The popularity, I'm not really sure what the popularity range is, but vote count from IMDb is varied. Vote average is about 3.4. Right, crikey. And lots of missing data. Most movies are around 62 minutes. Most movies I know are around 90 minutes. Horror movies in particular. Okay, so let's find some popularity outliers. Okay. What's the most popular genre name? Says somebody on LinkedIn. Right. Okay. What's the most popular genre? And are they profitable? So somebody on LinkedIn has said, what's the most popular genre? And ChatGPT is asked to talk about profitability. So let's go and dig into both of those. So here, I'm not doing the data exploration here. I'm asking it to go straight to insights. And again, going back a minute, that's one of the strange task confusions I feel when I'm using GPT. Oh, brilliant. So it's had a problem trying to look at genre names. During this video, I'm going to do my best to not look at the CSV and not open Tableau to validate any of this data. Along the way, we might end up with some dirty data. I don't know, but I'm going to try and do this purely in ChatGPT. Okay. Now we get into this situation where I feel like an impatient boss waiting for a non-diligent employee to satisfy what should have been a simple task. Let's see what was it doing? So it's failing with genre. If this doesn't work, then we're going to give up on looking at genres, and we'll try and find popular movies. Here we go. So, war, adventure, family, thriller, mystery. War is adventure. So what have we got here? Adventure stands out as both popular and profitable. War is most popular, but it doesn't make it to the top 5. Action, mystery, and fantasy are quite profitable, but not necessarily the most popular. Okay. So I don't want to. Let's see if we can just ask it. What does it think of the? What do you think are the best horror movies of all time? Perhaps use average. No, I won't tell it what to use. I'm gonna ask, and then I'll do it by average vote and number of votes. Well, this is good. This is useful because I've just said best. What's the best horror movie? Well, how do we define best? Is it best by length? Is it best by revenue? Is it best by popularity? So I'm going to say I want them to balance revenue and popularity. I think that'll work. What's it doing now? Okay, it's doing something? Right. So, does anybody know these movies? Oh, hi, Mark. Family, maybe like animated. Not Mark, Bradburn. You're here. Good to see you, my friend. Family horror movies. Yes, I wonder if the genre field is a bit wacky. I have played with IMDb data separately to this, and the genre field can be quite unpredictable. Okay, so let's. So I want it to. Okay, just the voting criteria to only include movies with lots of votes, say more than the average votes overall. Right. So there. Now I'm saying, okay, let's just include movies with lots of votes. Now, in fact, I want it to tell me that. Then use I want to see the movies that have high revenue, high popularity, and high number of votes. Show me the top 10 in a chart. Come on, let's go visual. Now, if I was doing this in Tableau, I'd be dragging and dropping and manipulating the data using filters, and I'd be doing it rapidly in the sense of flow. This is one of the things I've found frustrating about using all generative AI, is that it's brilliant, right? This is amazing. This is so powerful, but it's not very that you don't get in a flow state doing this. Here we go. All right. Now we've got some movies. Somebody says I'm a blagger. Am I a blagger? What did I do to be a blagger? World War Z, The Meg. The Meg is not a horror movie. Is it? Is The Meg a horror movie? Or is it just a dumb but excellent action movie? I didn't see it. It Chapter 2, Jaws, The Exorcist, The Mummy. The Mummy? Really? A Quiet Place and Black Swan. Right, okay. Movie. Right, so this is great. This is actually really useful stuff. I'm going to look at the bar chart. Look at this. We have a bar chart. As you can already see, and you know I hate saying that, the font is really small, but it wasn't me that did that. Oops. Sorry, let's go. Where's my chart? Oh, I've lost it. There you go. World War Z. Yeah. So we've got a sorted bar chart. It's created, put revenue on the x-axis. Perhaps I would have put popularity. But there you go. It reckons it is the best horror movie of all time. Mark says The Meg is better than Sharknado. I'm not sure I'd agree with you, Mark. Though I quite enjoyed The Meg. Right. Okay, so top 10 horror movies by things. Right, so then it's making some conclusions. So there's a trifecta of revenue, popularity, and vote count. It Chapter 2 was popular but didn't get a lot of revenue. Black Swan was lower popularity but a high vote count, indicating it might be more of a critical darling. Oh, you know what? I want to find more critical darlings. Can you find more critical darlings like Black Swan? You know, I like my horror movies, but I quite like my critical darlings too. So let's do this. I'm going to start asking it to draw more charts as well, because I want to see some of these results a bit more visually. Mark says the chart was double encoded. That's right, because there was... Let's go back to the chart. Where's my mouse? So we've got a color gradient. Color, I guess, is encoded to rank. The darker blue is rank number 1, and the greeny thing is rank number 10. Maybe it's just trying to be visually enticing, but it's unnecessary encoding. All right, well, here you go. These are pretty good movies. Psycho, The Shining, Alien, The Thing, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I don't know that movie. $0 revenue. Okay. The Black Phone, They Die by Rosemary's Baby, and I Saw the Devil. Okay. Genre combination. I'm not going to dig into a genre. Let's dive deeper. What do we want to know next? How can I visualize this information? Can you visualize these movies as in a useful way. Right, so I'm teasing ChatGPT here because I'm deliberately asking it. Well, is it teasing? I would like to see a scatter plot here of maybe revenue or votes and popularity and see if there's correlations. It could feasibly, I might also draw a side-by-side bar chart, putting each measure alongside each other. If it does something like it's done a scatter plot. Excellent. And oh crikey! Right, I'm going to open this image in a new tab so we can zoom into it. Oh, I guess I'm going to download it. No, it's not even a downloadable file. Right, there you go. That's about as big as I can get. What has it done? So it has encoded average on the x-axis, average votes on the x-axis, vote count on the y-axis. I'm going to say vote average must be the IMDb rating because it seems to be between 7 and 9. And then it's encoded revenue by color and popularity by size, and that's a terrible legend. So we've got The Shining, which had 8.2 average and loads of votes. Psycho has a higher average but fewer votes. Alien, lowish average, also loads of votes. All right, okay. So this is interesting. Why do we think The Shining and Alien have higher votes, but if lower vote average but high votes? Right. What explains the difference between Psycho and The Shining in terms of vote average and vote count? I'm going to leave that spell check in. I have a feeling what's actually happening there is The Shining and Alien are obviously more recent, bigger box office, more famous movies these days in 2023. So they're getting many more votes, whereas Psycho is such an important, influential horror movie that it's got a higher average, but fewer people. It's only the older generation or the people doing film studies who are voting for that now. Excellent. An error in the message stream. Let's try that again. Oh, Simon says, I can ask it to give you a JPEG or SVG. That's right. I could try. I've done that. Yeah, I think so. On LinkedIn, I've got a question. In what decade are the most popular horror movies coming out? So I think we'll start investigating that now. I don't feel like I've yet landed on any juicy insights that I really want to continue with. Okay. The difference could be to several factors. Psycho was released, so The Shining had more exposure to audiences who are accustomed to rating movies online. That's brilliant, right? Because is it brilliant because it confirms what the human being thought it was? Cultural impact. The Shining has been more present in recent pop culture. Also true. And it's easier to go watch The Shining than it is Psycho. Interesting. So that's really interesting. All right. Let's talk about time. So somebody asked for time. Mark, I saw you had a question asking, is revenue normalized to today's dollars? I don't know. Let's try that. Okay. How has horror movie popularity changed? Okay, I've changed over time. Now, will it draw me a line chart? Will we discover that the data is really dirty? If anybody is watching who has access to a real data analysis tool, such as Tableau or Power BI or something else, I'm going to put a link to this data set in the comments. If you want to go and do some parallel analysis while I make slow progress, I think it's fair to say, in ChatGPT, then please do. Oh, wow. Change in horror movie popularity over time. So we've got mean popularity, and it's what? This data is a bit strange. Here's a line plot. There's a significant spike, and then it's right. Why? Possibly because of the rise of streaming services, possibly because of COVID-19, or a data bias. That just seems completely. Well, okay. So mean popularity. Let's look at. Can we look at average vote count and average score over time? Because this data set has popularity, vote count, and score. I think the score is the IMDb score, so I'm not quite sure what the popularity is. Yeah, so maybe COVID improved popularity, but what I want to know is a bit more about what the popularity field means. I am going to go and look at this. Original language, tagline, release date, popularity. So there's no data dictionary here, so I don't know what the popularity, how that is calculated. Okay. So we have a dual axis chart with a blue line and a green line. Interesting. So the left-hand x-axis is labeled blue, and that's average vote count. So it spiked in 1960. Is that when Psycho came out? Big spike in 1979-80. What was a big horror movie in 1980? And then a drop down in average vote count, or kind of steady vote count to about 2010. On the left, we've got average vote average. So maybe we've averaged the averages, and that's going down. There's no noticeable decline in average voting. It further drops. Oversaturation. Genre comparison. Is the trend unique? Well, we haven't got data across other than horror movies. Month-wise trends. All right. Okay, so what do we like to explore further? I want to know what explained the spikes in 1960 and 1980. What explained the spikes in 1960 and 1980? So what I'm finding here is this data is somewhat less. It doesn't feel like it's really easy to explore in ChatGPT. There seem to be just anomalous values that are confusing ChatGPT, and I haven't got the tool or the power to quickly examine and dive into the data and be like, why is that thing spiking, or why is that an anomaly? In Tableau, we just look at the underlying data, take a look, exclude things that were anomalous, and carry on with the analysis. But here, I keep getting given some answers, but I'm never getting the full detail of how that answer was generated, which I have to say is a little frustrating. Okay, so top movies. In 1960, yes, we had Psycho, and I think I saw Peeping Tom, but Psycho certainly spiked. 1980 was The Shining, of course. and Friday the 13th. Can you believe that? So if we scroll back here, our average vote count, people go back and vote for these landmark movies. All right. Huh. Okay. So that's quite interesting, actually. I think, so do you think landmark movies cause spikes in vote count? Can you find and visualize any others? This feels like interesting insight to me, that the landmark movies, I guess people go back and vote for them over time, right? So this could be something we can put into our PowerPoint presentation that we will create towards the end. After this, I'm going to try and do some tagline analysis, because there must be something about taglines that is worth exploring. Yes, from LinkedIn, we've got this kind of not being able to see behind the hood. This does illustrate the problem as to how well you can trust it. Now, it's not quite a harsh comment, because you can, if you're a Python expert, you can go and read the Python, test the Python, and iterate on the Python to see what it's doing. So you can see what it's doing when it's writing code. When it's inferring opinions, oh my. When it's inferring conclusions, then it's obviously applying language models. I'm laughing because I've glanced at that chart and I'm knowing when I get to the end of this point, I'm going to have to explain that chart. So yeah, I think you can trust and test the code if you are a Python developer, right? But what's ChatGPT trying to sell itself as? This is an advanced data analysis plugin that people can use writing text. So looks to me like you need the prerequisite of being a competent coder to be able to trust and validate the work. In terms of validating the inferred outcome, then yes, do we trust the language models? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. We have to be careful. Okay, what have we got? I'm going full screen. Let's make this. Here is a visualization showing the average vote count over time with potential landmark movies highlighted in red. So we've got 4: Psycho, Alien, The Thing, and The Shining. I mean, oh, I see. Right. I mean, you wouldn't put this in your report, would you? So this is the average vote count over time, and then here are 4 anomalous movies which have loads and loads and loads of votes. That must be more than 4. I'm gonna tease it, see if we can find out more than 4. They're also critically acclaimed. They have a lasting impact. Right. So we ask. I'm going. I want to find that. Surely there are more than 4 landmark movies down the, and just more than 4 than just the ones you found. Oh, and this is hilarious. If you tell ChatGPT off, it will be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Right. Okay. So this is nice. Now we're having a conversation. It is saying, "Do you want to set the threshold above?" Yes. Set the threshold at 7.5. Oh. Mark says he's just noticed that the data does not include the directors, but ChatGPT did reference them in some of the insights. That is true. And again, this is something I've found from doing this in the past. You can get ChatGPT to infer knowledge based on what it knows about some of these movies, and that's pretty cool. All right. Okay, we're gonna. This is the last one I'm going to do on outlier movies, and then we'll look at taglines. Oh, right. Now we've got loads of them. I could see Get Out, Black Swan, The Conjuring, Shaun of the Dead, The Others. Huh. So that's quite cool. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. You know, I love that film. Dawn of the Dead, Last Night in Soho, The Black Phone. Black Phone was good. Halloween, The Exorcist. I confess to having never watched The Exorcist. It's terrible, isn't it? Jaws. Right. So now we've got loads of landmark movies. What if we further analyze these landmark movies? Let's do the taglines. Right. Okay. Is there? Let's look just at those landmark movies. Can you narrow the data down so we just look at these? Right, so this in Tableau, this would maybe like just create a set or a group or filter and just keep those down. I don't know if ChatGPT can do this. Oh, and we've got the issue with the genre name is that all the genres are concatenated into the single field. Yeah, and that has been my experience with looking at genre data from IMDb before. The other challenge is that there's no order to it. So this example on screen is in alphabetical order, but they aren't always in alphabetical order, I've discovered. The Rocky Horror Show isn't a horror film. I think that's probably fair enough, isn't it? It's a great movie. Right, so we've got the landmark movies. Next steps. I want to know about tagline. Right. What can you tell me about the language in the taglines of those movies? Is there anything you can visualize from your insight? All right, so taglines. I can't remember any of the famous taglines at all right now, but I bet there's some commonality with taglines. So first we'll try and explore the taglines, do some charts and some text analysis on these movies, and then maybe we'll analyze the whole movie data set with tagline information. And again, this pause, I find it frustrating. I find it really frustrating because I'm excited I've asked a question and now I've got to sit back and wait. Wow. Did you see what I saw there? Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, if you're going to do a text analysis, what's the first thing you do? You exclude stop words. So now I'm going to ask it to do all the same thing without stop words because I don't care about you and if, the, at, in. And I mean, I did ask it to visualize it, and it's given me a word cloud. Great. Okay. Do the same analysis, but remove the stop word. And give me my time back. Remove common words, I think, is another way of doing this. Hopefully it knows what stop words are. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Use count vectorizer with stop words removed. Okay, so I don't know my Python very well, so I'm guessing it's gonna your, I'm. What? The Taglines focus on elements like dead and scream. The use of the number 12 might indicate specific plot. All right, what should we do? What should we do here? I want to know more about these taglines, but that just I am going to have to open this file in Excel. I want to see these taglines. Oh, I feel dirty here because this isn't what I wanted to do. The thought, fight for family, never talk to strangers, evil rides again. Right, so these are the taglines, okay? Evil dies tonight. Right. Okay. Right, what we're going to do is tagline analysis. Let's look at taglines in all the horror movies, all the movies in the data. Can you tell me the most common, what sort of scary words? What's it saying? Most common horror-like words. And have the trends changed? All right, trends changed over time. Okay, we've got movies from a long time ago and movies from recently. So I want to know, what is it about taglines that we can look at from all time? Oh, I didn't. Oh, hopefully it will remove common words again. That would be a disaster if it doesn't. I wonder if we can ask ChatGPT to create the best tagline for a potential movie. That would be good. Wouldn't make a chart, but it would at least make for test its analysis. Oh. All right. Why am I laughing? I know none of you. It's all a bit small anyway, but you're all rotating your head now, aren't you, to read this? Okay, so this chart looks quite cool. I will have to ask it to rotate. I'm going to ask it to rotate the chart and make the font a little bit bigger. You'd just think it would know that a bar chart with labels would be better horizontal, wouldn't you? I ran into a memory issue. Okay, yes, yes. Proceed with a memory efficient method, and then rotate the chart so the bars are horizontal. Make the font a little bigger too. Right, okay, there you go. You see, I'm thinking about you, my audience. So here we go. We're back to square one. We've been teased. We've been teased here with an interesting chart. To bury the lead, looks like evil appears in 500 of the taglines. Then it's dead, terror, death, fear, kill, blood, nightmare, murder, scream, dark, monster, ghost, and haunt. Amazing. Right. Okay. So I feel like I'm finding some fun insight here. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Frequency of common words, horror-like words in taglines or movies. That's a big drop off, isn't it? I mean, obviously, I don't know what horror words it has chosen to include or exclude, but it does. But evil, wow, that's quite useful. Evil, dead, terror are our top three. How will it sort the chart? Asked Rodrigo. Hi, Rodrigo. Looks like it has sorted the charts by frequency. So 492 for evil. Supernatural phenomena like ghost and haunt are less frequently. Okay. Yes, I want to see if the words has changed over time. Now, so I want to know how the usage of those words has changed over time and draw a chart, if possible, to show your insights. This has been interesting. I don't feel like I've made as much progress as I would have liked to have done in 45 minutes. And I'm going to start building the PowerPoint presentation to finish this live stream with in a few minutes. The top 10 horror words is definitely an interesting insight. We'll try and create a good tagline. But what else have we discovered? We've discovered we'll come back to that. Oh, brilliant. Okay, we've got a line chart. Oh my lord! So we've got a line chart showing the frequency of these words over time. Each word is represented as a line, and it's chosen a 4-color repeating green color palette. So the end result is a chart that is a mess, I think. How would I have drawn this? I might have drawn each word in a panel, or I would have looked for interesting. Are there any words that have an interesting trend? So in fact, that's what we'll do. So terror had a peak. Death and fear. Okay, so let's just So I just draw the lines evil, dead, and terror with each in a separate pane. Right, okay. Redraw the chart with just lines for evil, dead, and terror. Create a separate pane. That's a tableau term, so I don't have for each word. Use Halloween inspired colors. Right, so we've got this is the insight we're going to go to. Ask it to trellis the chart by word, says Andrew Fox. That is a pretty sensible. In fact, I'm gonna go with your comment, Andrew. Let's see if we can do that. I'll do my thing first. Right. Redraw the chart as a trellis chart with each section dedicated to one word. Whoa. Now, I'll be pretty amazed if it can do this. But it's a great idea, Andrew. Rodrigo says colours, not colours. But Rodrigo, I say British, not American. And so it's colours with you. Today it is, at least. Anyway. Right, so we'll see what it does here. I'm gonna ask it to draw just the words lines for evil, dead, and terror, and then I'm gonna have to start making my PowerPoint because we're gonna run out of time. In comments, what insights do you think we found here? Have I managed to share with you, other than these words, any? Nice. Well, right. Okay. So, Andrew, I think we did win here. But it seemed to remember that I asked for just evil, dead, and terror. So that's quite cool. I can now see that evil and dead had a similar trend over time, whereas terror had this big spike in the late 1980s. There was a big spike in terror. That's an interesting thing. Right. So let's go there. Right. What other insights have we got? Because we'll take that as our prime insight. I'm now going to scroll all the way back to the top. What have we found? We have found information about genres, which didn't really work out. We found out the top 10 horror. Oh, sorry. Scrolling is really bad in ChatGPT. Let's use the spinner. Genres wasn't very useful because I think that data needs a bit of looking at. We looked at we found the top 10 movies. Okay, so I want a presentation about the top 10 movies. That could be one insight. Then the top 10 critical darlings. Yes, that was good. And then, so we kept doing that. Okay. Popularity was a bit weird. Voting was a bit weird. But there was spikes. Landmark movies and taglines. Right. So I'm gonna miss out the critical. No, I'm gonna miss out the top 10 movies. I'm gonna do the 10 critical darlings. All right, here we go. It is time to ask for a PowerPoint presentation for what we want. Okay. We have some insights. Now I want a PowerPoint presentation, and this PowerPoint presentation containing the charts that show the following insights that we've discovered. So first, create an introduction slide. Then create a chart about the top 10 critical darlings. Then create a slide with you see, I've got with the chart. Then a slide with a chart about the landmark movies. Finally, a slide with a chart about the taglines. And then I'm going to say format these slides so the charts are optimized for our presentation, i.e. big fonts, clear titles, etc. And then create a script to accompany the slides. I will be presenting this on YouTube. Here we go. Right. Okay, YouTube and LinkedIn. That was a massive prompt. Let's see what we end up with. Amir says, can you watch the recording of this session later? Yes, Amir. So on YouTube and LinkedIn, this is live streamed and recorded, so it becomes available on demand straight away. Rodrigo says, should have done a conclusion slide. You're absolutely right. I forgot to ask it. That's frustrating. Next time we'll do a conclusion slide. And then on LinkedIn, we've got popularity is a strange measure. In some years, it has an average of 500. Yeah. So I think there's something odd about that popularity field. So here we go. So what conclusions have you made? Would you use ChatGPT for real world data analysis? I have to say, in this case, I think I would have made a lot more progress with this data in Tableau. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. What this is amazing at, oh no. Right, okay, so they're going to have to, ChatGPT is going to have to start again. So just on an exploration of the data, I would have been way faster in Tableau. ChatGPT did find insights along the way. It offered to go and find contextual information about directors of these movies. So it has global knowledge about things that maybe I don't, and I could have delved into a little bit more. Secondly, I find it very frustrating personally having to wait for a response. I mean, I realize this is an amazing piece of technology and it can't work instantly. But as a data analyst, I want to be in the flow, and every question leads to an interaction and leads to a change. So I find that frustrating. Secondly, something that is amazing. We did some tagline analysis there. So that's free text fields. If we go back to Excel, the taglines here, doing text analysis, certainly in Tableau, I mean, that is advanced data engineering. The live stream I did a couple of weeks ago with UFO data actually turned out pretty good. So I think that text-based, we could look at sentiment, we could do n-grams, we could do word counts and frequency. That's really powerful. Finally, even though this is frustrating, this plugin's like what, 4 months old? You know, where are we going to be? I mean, I know in Tableau's research team, we're really looking deeply into what LLMs can do with exploratory data analysis. So we are at the start of a revolution. I'm pretty confident that we are. All right. I'm not going to read that script here. This is going. Here we go. I've got a presentation I can download. So I'm going to download that. I'm going to download it here. Let's come out of here. Let's open the folder. It's white. Right. I'm not going to. Oh dear. Okay. I'm just going to put that over there, and then we're going to. Right. Here we go. Here comes the presentation. So this, everybody, is the final part of the thing, and I'm going to have to put my script here so we can go. Right. Where's my script? Right. Bear with me. Okay. This, ladies and gentlemen, is ChatGPT's and mine. I'm taking the responsibility. Horror movie analysis. Hello, YouTube. Today we're diving deep into the world of horror movies. We'll explore critical darlings, landmark movies, and even the language of fear used in taglines. Let's get started. Next slide. First up, we have the top 10 critical darlings in the horror genre. These are films with high vote averages and a significant number of votes. As you can see, movies like insert movie name. Oh, come on. As you can see, movies like what? Ghosts, Alien, The Shining, Psycho lead the pack. It's no surprise that these titles are highly recommended by critics. It lost the analysis and then regenerated the analysis without me. Next, let's talk about landmark. Oh my. Let's talk about landmark movies. These are films that made a significant impact, either through high revenue, high popularity, or a large number of votes. Take note of the classics like Psycho. Nope. And modern hits like Black Swan. Black Swan. I think it might be. No. These are movies that have left an indelible mark on the horror genre. Finally, we will delve into the language of horror through taglines. The most commonly used horror words are evil, dead, and terror. These words not only evoke fear, they also give us a glimpse into the recurring themes in horror cinema. And that wraps up our horror movie deep dive. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content. Until next time, stay scared. That is genuinely what it says here. Feel free to modify the script to suit your presentation style. Martin Brandborn says, I feel safe in my job for just a little longer. Me too. Those charts were not great. Let's just go back to those charts. So those charts were just not great, right? This is awful. Well, there you go, right? So what have we learned today? We have learned that you can do exploratory data analysis with ChatGPT. We have learned that it is not perfect by any state of anyone's imagination. If you were a 12-year-old, if you were a brand new beginner in the field of exploratory data analysis, you were going to be able to get things out of this that, if you didn't have access to Tableau, would be powerful. In order for me to iterate to get these charts into something even close to being presentation worthy, it would be a huge amount of iteration going, no, put the labels here, put the legend there, make the colors easier. That's really frustrating. And it is. It's like working with a 12-year-old who would rather be watching TikTok. So that's my conclusion. Please, as Rodrigo says, you can like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to know what you think about this. If you've got data sets that are good, clean data sets that I don't know anything about and could be analyzed in a future one, then let me know. And with that, I'm going to say farewell to ChatGPT. Let me just get this slide back on. What's my data? Well, today it was horror movie data. I hope you all have a fantastic Halloween if that's something you celebrate. Keep your eyes on tableau.com because we're going to be doing something even bigger and better with movies, movie data starting in November. Until next time, thanks for watching and take care. Bye.